Hey, sports fans, Coach Frank here, and I'm about to drop the second installment of my three-part most important weight loss series I've ever done. Now that you know about the timeline that has been building your whole life until your current weight issues, you need to know something vital. Just as people come in all different shapes and sizes, so does weight gain. That's right. There are all different types of weight and ways to gain it. No two are the same, so you can imagine the problems that can happen in absence of knowing about it. You may even be getting the idea that this is why so many diet attempts fail. And you'd be right, because it is why so many diet attempts fail, at least in the long run. So don't go anywhere before you hear this. And if you haven't listened to part one, the weight gain time bomb episode, I highly recommend you do so. They're short and power packed and full of information that's going to help you decode your brand of weight gain. And you're going to get all that and maybe even a little more right after this. Stick around.
Game on, sports, fitness, and health fans, with another episode of the Sporting Good Posture Digital Radio Experience. Gear up for Coach Frank's advice from the sidelines as he helps you crush your game, no matter what sports, health, or fitness game you play.
Hey, this is Coach Frank. I'm sporting good posture. What are you sporting?
Hey, Coach, what do you got for us today?
Welcome back to another episode of Sporting Good Posture. This is Coach Frank, and I'm continuing our progress here with my new series on weight loss with part 2 of 3 and the information you need to follow up the weight gain time bomb you learned about in part 1. Now, if you haven't listened to part 1, this will still make sense, but I highly recommend listening to all 3 parts because there are the 3 most common things that get overlooked, and as far as I'm concerned, are the reasons why weight loss is so troublesome for most people. Today, we're going to cover something very important. Now that you know about your timeline of accumulation of weight triggers that's been building towards your weight problems now, it's time you found out that there are different types of weight gain and ways you can accumulate it. And each way and type has its own unique reason, timeline, and specific type of attack needed to handle it. Don't you think that's something you should know? Well, you're right, and I'm going to school you briefly on that one here in a minute, right after this message.
Hey, Jeremy. Wow, really pumping that iron. Getting buff for summer?
Hey, Haley. Wow, you look amazing. I guess the gym's working out pretty well for you. Wish it was for me. Trying to lose some weight, but no matter what I do, I can't seem to take it off.
Oh, I've been there. I've tried tons of diets and routines and just couldn't take the weight off no matter what I did. It was really depressing.
Well, you obviously did something right. What's your secret?
Actually, my chiropractor.
Your chiropractor? Really?
I was so surprised, but it totally worked. He was doing something called the ChiroThin program.
The ChiroThin program?
The ChiroThin program is designed like no other. Supervised by licensed doctors of chiropractic, ChiroThin is based on your body's natural structure. Following Mother Nature's blueprint, ChiroThin gets to the bottom of all the reasons people have difficulty losing weight and puts you on the road to your ideal body. And that means the ideal you.
Hey, Jeremy, you're looking pretty buff. Did you check out the ChiroThin program?
You bet, Haley. Thanks for turning me on to it. For my girlfriend and mom, too. We all had a breakthrough. Can't believe we finally lost the weight.
Well, looks like my loss was your gain.
If losing weight is a challenge, get evaluated today for free to see if you are fit for the ChiroThin program at Ideal Health and Wellness Center. Don't just get thin, get ChiroThin. Call 615-567-6683.
Okay, so what's this talk about there being different types of weight and different ways to gain it all about? Well, there's many different types of ways that you can gain weight. One way that I find a lot in the clinic is that there's a difference between fluid retention or water weight that you get and you accumulate that in your body. That can actually fluctuate throughout the day. It can even be different weights throughout the day as far as your body goes. So if you weigh yourself in the morning, you most likely you're way less in the morning than you do as the day goes on. Typically, fluid retention gets worse as the day goes on, especially during the summer months, like in the South. You'll get more retention, and then you'll be more bloated by the end of the day, which can definitely affect the weight. You'll get fat cell expansion. That happens, obviously, when you're eating the wrong types of foods, but also if you have a lot of toxins in your body, your fat cells store those toxins. One of the things when we do the lipo laser is that the body's actually getting rid of the fat cells, and inside the fat cell is water, glycerol, free fatty acids, and a lot of the toxins that you store in your body. So anything you come in contact with, or any medications you might have taken, any toxins in foods, any toxins in the environment, will actually get stored in your cells, which is also why it's very difficult to lose weight, because your body doesn't want to open those cells and release those toxins out of there. So when we do our lipo laser and weight loss program, we're doing the vibration machine with it. We're doing some exercise. We're doing some other things like drinking a lot of water to flush your lymphatic system so that your body is able to detox and then get rid of these toxins and cells and things like that, so that your body just doesn't reabsorb it. The worst thing that your body can do is then reabsorb those things where you just had, open the fat cells up and now your body's trying to reabsorb it. So you want to use that energy. Basically, when the fat cells get released, you're trying to use that energy and release that back out of your body so that it doesn't go back in the cells. That can also affect weight itself. But again, how much you weigh is not the best metric to use on how healthy you are, or even how well your body is, with their metabolism, because weight doesn't tell the whole story. I think more often than not, the inches is what really tells the bigger story. That really tells if your body's actually using the energy. Fat is energy, protein's energy, carbs are energy. Is your body using those sources of fuel to be able to function and make your body actually do what it's supposed to do? And if your metabolism is on, then the food that you take in will be used immediately as fuel. It's like putting fuel, in a Ferrari. You want to have good fuel, high grade fuel for a Ferrari. You don't want to put junky fuel in a sports car because it's not going to perform like you want it to. So same thing with you. You got to put good food in so that your body is more apt to being healthy and in a better state of health. Your body is just a way of showing how healthy or how unhealthy it could be. One of the things that I see if you're toxic too is that you may have skin problems. You may have, dry skin or rashes or even breakouts on your body, dry spots in certain areas, maybe psoriasis. This is your body also trying to get rid of toxins because it's too bombarded in your digestive tract. So you got to get rid of those things. And a lot of times your body will start pushing it through the skin just to get it out. So if you're getting breakouts, you're getting skin issues, chances are your body has too much toxins. And A, you got to drink more water. And B, you got to flush your lymphatic system out so that you can get rid of those toxins so that it's not trying to reabsorb and overwhelm your body and then come out through your pores, basically. It happens more when you're younger, as teenage years, but also when you're an adult too, it can happen because if your body's not getting rid of those toxins and the things that you're taking in, then it won't be able to get rid of them all at once through your digestive tract. This ties back into part one of this weight loss series, the weight gain time bomb, and the accumulation and the timeline that you have over the years of why your body's actually accumulating weight. And everybody's different. So you and your friend might have weight gain, but they may have it in different places than you. And what they do as far as losing weight might be different than what you do. And you may not get the same results, which is, again, why dieting is not a one-shot deal. It's not something that you can just do a shotgun approach and hope it helps, because everybody's different. And there's different reasons why you've gained that weight. And there's different underlying reasons why that has happened to you. So the idea is that you have to really find out why those things have happened. Like, what's the timeline in your life? What's the timeline for you as far as when did this start happening? Was it earlier in your life when you were a kid? Was it teenage years? Was it after college? Was it maybe when you got in your 30s or 40s? There's different timelines of when people actually gain this weight. And sometimes you can kind of look at your parents and some people in your family and kind of see what maybe they've dealt with and the timeline that they've had. Sometimes that can be similar in yours, but again, everybody's living in different times and has different accumulation of toxins and a different exposures to different foods and medicines and environmental factors. And all these things can make your body start causing that problem of weight gain. But again, there's many underlying issues that typically are causing that to happen and make that worse. This explains why when you see your friend doing a diet and you try that same diet, that you usually don't get the same results. This also explains a reason why some people can eat whatever they want. They can just go eat fast food all the time, eat pizza, drink alcohol late at night or whatever, and they don't seem to gain any weight. But if you do something just the little bit off of whatever diet you were on, that you start gaining that weight. So what do you do at this point? Well, the best thing to do is contact me and get screened. Figure out the underlying reasons of your weight gain. And we have many different programs at the office, basically trying to detox your body, trying to open up the fat cells. And the new program we've added with ChiroThin is really one of the best programs I've ever seen, where you can rapidly lose weight, but also do it in a way that's healthy for you. So you're actually detoxing your cells, your body, your organs, and also allowing your body to do what's called a metabolic reset, which means that whatever weight you get to, so just say you weigh 200 pounds and you get down to 175, well, that's now your body's metabolic reset. That's the weight you'll hover around. So typically you'll stay now within 5 pounds of that new weight. And after the last couple of years of doing this program, the people that I've seen do this have been able to keep their weight off and stay within 5 pounds of whatever weight that they lost and not just gain it all back. That's the most frustrating part of most diets, is that you do the diet, you might be able to lose, 15, 20, 30 pounds in the next month or two, but can you keep it off? That's the real challenge. And that's the reason why people do so many diets every year. People typically try, 3 or 4 diets a year for many, many years to come, so that they keep doing these diets over and over again and wonder why they're not working. Well, there's a way to do it correctly, and there's a way to also figure out the underlying issues that will also cause you to gain that weight back. So on top of detoxing your body, it's also finding those underlying reasons why you gained the weight in the first place. Is there problems with your sleep? Is there problems with your digestion? Is there joint pain? Do you have inflammation? Do you have body pain anywhere in your body creates inflammation, which makes your metabolism slow down? Anything that's kind of standing in your way is going to make your body slow down. It's going to make it more difficult to lose the weight and then also keep it off. And these are the things that we figure out when we screen you and find out why this is happening, so that we can eliminate the issues causing that and get you to the other side of the bridge and then stay there. So when you lose that weight, you typically stay at that same weight. And that's the most satisfying thing at that point, is actually losing the weight, keeping it off, and then being able to maintain it at that point much easier than you had before with these yo-yo diets. They don't work, and going on YouTube is not the answer to just, shotgun approach on these diets. Like, you have to actually do it strategically and figure out your own timeline. And that's what I'm here for. And that's what I can help you do. So to recap, if you haven't listened to part 1, it's the weight gain time bomb and the reasons why you're gaining the weight and the accumulation over time and the timeline you've had for your specific weight gain that you've dealt with. Part 2 here, we're talking about the different types of weight gain that you can get. We talked about fluid retention, water weight, fat cell expansion. We talked about why your friend might gain weight and you didn't, or you gain weight and they didn't, eating the same things, or how a diet that they did worked for them but didn't work for you. This is the different types of weight gain that can happen over time. Now, in part 3, we're going to talk about the fact that there's something everyone seems to do that cheats them out of the results they could be getting, and how this relates to part 1 and 2 about the timeline and types of weight gain and the cycle of gaining weight. And you don't want to be set back on your timeline. So you definitely want to be tuning in to part 3 of this series to learn about those things. The bottom line is, you just need to get checked out. I want you to reach out to me. Give me a call, 615-567-6683. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. DM me there at Ideal Health and Wellness Center. Tell me what's going on, and I'll tell you what I think. Remember, the coach's door is always open. This is Coach Frank. I'm sporting good posture and healthy weight. How about you?
The Sporting Good Posture Podcast is a broadcast wellness production powered by Ideal Health Wellness Center. All content copyright 2021. All rights reserved. Executive producer Frank Sardella. Coach Frank appears courtesy of Ideal Health Wellness Center in Franklin. For more information, visit sportinggoodposture.com and follow Coach on Instagram at sportinggoodposture.
Hey, Haley. Wow, you look great.
You should throw in a random Corn Pops commercial or something.
Sugar Corn Pops or something like that. It was hilarious.
What are you doing? I'm writing this down. This is good stuff. Yeah.
That was awesome.